do you think the Warriors are legitimate threats in the West?
Well, not if they can't win any games on the road, Skip. I mean, and now all of a sudden they're struggling at home. I think they lost their last 3 at home. Everybody expected Skip, to come back and be a little rusty. He's been out 11 games, so obviously his shooting touch was off. He did score 24 points, but it took him 22 shots to get those points. And so I'm not surprised that he was a little rusty. But it's not a good look when you come back with that lineup and the Suns are without D-Book, they're without Ayton, they're without CP3, they're without Cameron Johnson, they're without Cam Payne, and they still beat you by 12.
What?
That's not a good look. Now, Skip, there is no, as we talked about earlier, there is no mythological team that's in the West. The teams are really evenly matched, and on any given Sunday, any given night, you can get beat. But the fear factor that the Warriors used to possess is no longer there. Now, who knows if they can get it back? Clay shot the ball really well last night. It seems to be he's running, but he's 10 of 24, 6 of 14. He had 29 points. But they didn't shoot the ball well. They were less than 39% shooting the ball. It was 18 of 48. But I'm not liking what I see. They don't seem that, obviously, Steph going out hurt them. But even when Steph was there, Skip, they couldn't win on the road.
Could not.
They I mean, you look at their record, they have one of the worst win-loss records on the road of any defending champ in the modern era.
3-16.
So, no, this is not the same team. They got their work cut out for them, but like I said, Denver are not world beaters. The Clippers, whomever's in the West, nobody's a world beater. So at the end of the day, it's still a toss-up.
I give you no world beaters, but something is amiss with the defending champs.
Okay.
Something is wrong in San Francisco. I keep watching and waiting for them to detonate and take off. They still have time, although I saw this quote from Steph, we still have 41 games to figure it out, and it hit me. Wait a second, they're halfway.
Halfway.
They're halfway.
Yep.
What is going on here? Because you're a game under 500 and you're the defending champs. It started with the preseason incident, the punch thrown by Draymond at Jordan Poole.
Right.
And I think it rocked his jaw and it rocked this basketball team. And I'm not sure they ever quite sort of psychologically recovered because they weren't a team that fought each other.
Right.
They weren't a team built on infighting and outfighting. And, you know, they're a finesse basketball team. They're not a bunch of guys swinging at each other or other rivals. So it starts there. And then I start looking at the overall stats. You realize they rank 17th in defensive efficiency. Well, when they're good, they're first.
They're top 5 defensive.
Right?
Yes.
Last year, I think they were close to one.
Yes.
If they weren't one. Would you believe they're also 17th in offensive efficiency? So they're not shooting the ball the way they used to shoot the ball.
Nope.
And I believe if you step back from this, you look, not Steph, but I think Clay is a little bit on the downside. He's at the end of his prime, but past the heart of his prime.
Okay.
And then you look at Draymond. I just don't think he's the same player he used to be, and he was little to no impact last night. You can see he was 1 of 5. He'll get you your 12 rebounds. That's nice. 6 assists, okay, but he scored 5 points, and it's not enough offensive impact. He's lost some. Looney is not quite the force that he was. They feel like they're on the downside, and the kids can't rise up and lift them quite yet. So I look at Steph, and yeah, he's rusty, so I'm not expecting much, but he was a minus 19, which was a game worst.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they had several opportunities to blow that, to get right back in that game.
I watched.
And Steph missed like 3 threes in a row.
And Jordan Poole was actually making them.
Yeah, Jordan Poole, he got going,
But Steph actually in the fourth quarter did get going in the grand scheme of things because he scored 16 in the fourth. That'll work, but nobody else did much of anything. So the point is, like last night, Steph is averaging a career-high 6.4 rebounds, and he got 1 last night. And is that rusty, or you just can't get back in the swing of things?
Right.
So I don't know. It just doesn't seem right to me, even though I respect and fear Steph Curry, and they still have time to become a contender. But it just feels like they slipped over the edge.
Yeah.
It feels like they sort of are getting old right before your very eyes, where I don't fear them anymore, to your point.
Yeah, Skip, they only had 4 players score. I mean, Steph Curry gave you 16 on 5 of 12. Jordan Poole gave you 13 on 5 of 8.
Yep.
And then Andrew Wiggins gave you 2, and then Klay Thompson gave you 3.
Okay, and this is against a lineup featuring Torrey Craig, Saric, Biyombo, Dwayne Washington Jr. and Bridges is still a good player, but that's what they're playing. They're playing Jock Londale, a lot of men. Damian Lee, who used to be a Warrior.
Yeah, Steph Curry, brother.
He is. Yep, and Okogie is playing big minutes. So again, it's pretty pathetic. And you basically you fell behind by 27 points until you made your late run.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not good.
Okay. Is Steph still, what is he, 34 now?
34.
Okay. Is he still capable at 34 of lifting the whole show up? I believe he is.
I believe he is too.
Yep.
But even if he is, I just don't know if that's enough now. Unless these other guys start to play better around him. Now they need Jordan Poole to string together some games like he had last night, and we know he can get it going. Skip. He's microwave. You just he's ready.
But right here, right now, if in a vacuum, I took this Golden State team as is against that Boston team that they beat in the finals, if we played a 7-game series right now,
they get swept.
I think they get swept. Seriously. I think Boston will win all 4.
Yeah.
Because Boston is just, they're coming of age, right? They weren't quite ready.
Tatum and Brown, they're playing on a different level.
Okay.
They took it personally, and they should have. They took it personally last year.
But they were not ready for that last year, last summer.
Nope.
Okay.
Suns, Clippers, and Kings right ahead of the Warriors in the standings, guys. So there is time, but there's also a lot of work to do if Steph and crew want to get this train back on the tracks. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.